him up, he will be banned, but he won't be able to do a Q&A either.
Hang
He'll be completely out of it.
Hang up the live. We'll discuss that. That'll be one of my questions, one of my topics. Right. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Fully Loaded on a Thursday at the old Brain Dump place. So, yeah, awesome. And do you know what? Let's just straight into it and talk to the panel and get them to see what they're up to. But firstly, we're going to say hello. So, in no particular order, let's start with Keith, one biker.
What do you want to know? News and topics?
No, just say hello to start.
Oh, hello everybody.
Just trying to keep you on your toes, mate.
So I'm not very well this week.
All right, okay, hang on.
Thank you.
There you go. Right, Kev, would you like to say hello, buddy?
Hello, people.
There he is, Mr. Happy. Jeez.
As always.
Excellent, Richard.
Benvenuto.
Excellent. Bueno. Brilliant, thank you, Richard. Skeggy.
Hello, peeps. Oh, sorry, it's me, innit? How you doing?
Brilliant, cheers, Skeggy. Suffolk Andy.
Hello everybody, Suffolk Andy here, married 3 times. Fell out of love. I actually fell out of love with my Harley as well, so I'm a bit depressed. Andy knows all about it.
Go on, Andy.
I'll try and cheer myself up later on. Bye-bye.
I want to know why you fell out of love with your Harley.
Sure, you don't want to know.
She was seeing a Kawasaki behind his back.
She was a little bitch, I'll tell you, little minx.
It hasn't got a pretty electrics, has it?
No, it's nothing like that, nothing mechanical, but I fell out of love with it.
Excellent. Okay, cheers, Andy. And who am I, UK number 1?
Hi everybody, how's you doing? No, I'm not very well today, sorry. I think I got wife and biker's bug.
Are you sure you didn't give it me?
No, I was alright until I met you on Monday.
I was alright on Monday.
That was the injection that he gave him.
Yeah.
He's worried that he's only caused by bodily fluid.
Yes, that was the exchange of body fluids that's done the trick, I think.
Yeah, sailing.
Always use protection, guys. Always use protection.
I was almost going to say David was bringing up the rear, but that might sounded a bit wrong.
Well, normally I'm second, I'm behind you on every video, and I thought I'll give somebody else a chance this time.
Excellent. Cheers, buddy. And finally for me, yes, obviously I've already said hello, so that's fantastic. And as the hangout actually starts streaming live at this point, you can tell because the viewers start going up, I'm going to just quickly go and go to the Q&A because I believe Light It Up 550 says hello, and also can I get an invite? And I'm sure you can, buddy. I'll sort that out now for you. Oh, come on, Google. Come on, there he is. Invite sent, mate. It'll be in your personal messages in YouTube somewhere, I'm sure. So check it out in a minute when you get this, which is probably in about 5 minutes' time. Awesome. Also, in Q&A, Steve Galvadier. I'm watching too much Game of Thrones these days. Oh, right. Sorry. Steve Galvier says, evening, guys.
Evening.
Evening.
Alright, Steve. Do you watch all of Game of Thrones and understand the story then, or just the boobs?
Just the boobs in my case, I'll tell you, because I can't keep up with it. Even though I watch them all.
Is it a story? I didn't know there was a story.
Yeah, apparently left boob said to right boob something.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
I wasn't paying attention.
that red witch who keeps shagging everyone, man, she's got the most immense tits in the world. Honestly, she is one for the wank bank. She is amazing.
Right, Andy. Andy, let's see if you dig this one out from the bottom.
Right, I can see me making a withdrawal later.
Going over his old box sets of fucking Game of Thrones to thrash off.
She's Dutch in real life, eh?
Yeah, she is. Yeah, I met her once. No, I didn't. Right.
Well, I've got a story about me meeting a celebrity this week. I'll tell you in a little bit
Oh, okay.
in my news. It was actually very surreal.
We all thought that Jimmy Savile was dead, but apparently not.
Well, there you go. You know.
Kev was only 6 at the time.
Stop. Right. Okay.
I told this a minute.
Very good at this stage to go to news and topics.
We managed to keep it clean for the first 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
4 minutes, maybe.
I'll tell you what, there's certain people that get far too much airtime in this hangout, and they're not alive. or either that or they're in prison. Anyway, let's
not this Rolf.
Hey, hit it in one. Right, okay. News and topics then, people. Let's see what we want to talk about tonight. I'm going to start with Keith. He's been away for a bit.
The only news I've got is that I had a very successful chip shop ride out on Monday. Dave, bless his cotton socks, turned up and had a good ride out. And Phil 480 turned up, which was a nice surprise. I think he was stopping with Benny Boy Biker, so that was pretty awesome for him to turn up on Monday, so that was good. I think we had 16 riders in total, so it was a good turnout. Other news, I'm off to Ireland for my Ireland trip on Saturday, so I won't be around for a fortnight. I'll be getting lost around the various roundabouts around the Southern Islands.
Nice one, mate. I've got your address here. I'll pay you a visit.
Yeah. Yeah. If you don't hear from me from 3 weeks, I'm probably still trying to work my way around the around Ireland, trying to work out how to get home.
When you hit the M25, you know you're gone wrong.
Luckily, I've got 4 other reprobates going with me, so hopefully between us we should be able to manage to get away and get back home.
Before you go, what you want to do, Keith, is just buy a cheap compass from Halfords or something like that. Other stores are available. Put it on your bike, and if you get lost, just keep heading east. Eventually, you'll come to the
I can just picture the videos coming out in a few weeks' time. I've been in Ireland for 2 weeks now, and I found the Ramsey hairpin.
Yes, it's not as big as I thought it was, Ireland. I thought it could at least take us a fortnight to get around. It was around in a matter of hours.
I thought a shamrock had leaves, but it's got 3 legs.
Well, I don't know. To be honest, Keith, the speed you ride, that 37.7 miles.
Don't start him off, for goodness sake. Oh, you get violent.
2 days in, I've reached the mountain.
Yeah.
Is 2 weeks going to be enough?
That's just to get on the ferry.
I bloody hope so.
There's 2 days planned from getting on the ferry to getting off again.
I've planned very short days, so hopefully we should make it.
Yeah.
Oh, you do a better mile than half then.
Yeah.
Day 7, the fuel's starting to look a bit low, and I might need to go and put some more fuel in.
Yeah. Day 7, still trying to work our way out of Dublin.
Still trying to find the ferry to get on it.
Oh, I left my phone at home, bugger.
That's all the news I've got anyway. I've got no topics, unfortunately.
Okay, brilliant one. Nice one, Keith. Excellent stuff. Looking forward to your Ireland trip. Let's go then from there to Kev, Infamous Biker. News and topics.
I've got no topics. The only news I've got is, do any of you remember the band Bewitched from the late 90s?
Yep.
Early 2000s. Well, I was in the queue for the post office the other day, and the bloke behind the counter turned around to the woman in front of me, and said, "Are you that woman from Bewitched?" And she said, "Yeah, I am, yeah." So anyway, he started singing "C'est la vie" to her, their song "C'est la vie."
What?
And I was in a particularly jovial, just for fun, because that's what they sung.
Right.
So he's a bit weird, but he's funny.
Yeah.
No, it's a local postie, but I know him. And so I joined in singing it with him for a laugh. And then he comes round the counter, sits here down on a chair, puts his arm around me, and we proceed to start singing the whole of Sailor V to her.
He's having a laugh now.
I shit you not. On my dad's grave, I shit you not. I swear.
Tell me you were recording this.
And no, I didn't. No. And so anyway, we get halfway through to the song. We get to the second chorus, and she joins in. She gets up and joins in with us. So I have sang Sailor V with One of Bewitched.
Do you know what the
My
really
new
bad
claim to
part
fame.
about that story is for me?
What's that?
I saw you mention that. Did you send us a message about that, or did you put it on Facebook or
I
something?
chucked it on Facebook the
Right.
morning it happened, yeah.
I saw you mention that, and I thought you meant the TV program. I was thinking that's amazing. I was thinking that's amazing. I would have assumed she was dead by
Yeah, I
now.
was going to say that, like the 50s, wasn't it?
I didn't even know there was a band called Bewitched, and I just assumed that I'd missed the episode where they sang Sailor V.
There's 3 Irish girls, wasn't it?
Four of them.
Four of them was.
Two of them were sisters.
Yeah, it was all hot and they all looked alike.
Yeah, well, two of them were twins, and it was one of the twins that was there because there's 4 of them all together. There's the 2 twins. They've got another sister, and they've got a brother, and the brother was in Boyzone, I think. Shane Lynch, I think his name is. And one of the sister that isn't famous, she owns a hair salon round the corner from us, and this sister's the famous one is going through a divorce, so she's moving over here from Ireland. So apparently.
Oh, I thought she was here to take Keith over to Ireland and make sure he didn't get lost.
Hey, I've just had a brainwave. You didn't have your camera, no?
That's a very cruel remark, Mr. Richard.
You were in the post office, weren't you?
I was.
Security camera footage. Get back there. Get that footage and make it go viral.
Oh yeah, CCTV. I might nip in and see if they've got it actually. Yeah.
You can do
a. With your manager, okay?
You can do a thing, can't you? You can request it under because you're in it.
Yeah.
Of course, you can't put it on YouTube because you'll get done for copyright.
I can link it. Well, I could put it. I could just put it on one of my servers, couldn't I?
Yep.
Just put it on and put Bewitched.
I'll look down. I'll go down there. I'll go down there over the weekend and see if I can have it.
I think the thing that I was more concerned about, they actually knew the words from that song. I mean, that's not something I would want to admit.
No, we can go along with that one.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but from anybody else, I can believe that sentence, but from you, Keith, no, sorry.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Go to the post there. I'm sure they'll let you have the footage, mate. Definitely.
I'll ask them about it.
I don't know how long they keep hold of it for, but it's probably at least a couple of weeks. So go and get it.
Yeah, well, this was only Monday morning, maybe Tuesday morning. So.
You're not joking, aren't you? That video footage is going to be in that guy's bank.
And it's got that woman from Bewitched in it too.
I've got Tibbs on tape.
What is going on, people?
You might have to do a voiceover. There may not be any sound, but I still want to see the footage anyway. Oh, brilliant! Right,
I'll go down.
Did you have any topics as well, Kev, or not?
No topics this week. Sorry.
No worries, mate. You excelled yourself already. You've done one this year already. Excellent. Cheers, Kev. That's brilliant information there. Let's go to Richard then, Calm Biker. News and topics from you, buddy.
News. I think I'm starting to heal a bit, which is nice. All the dressings are off now. I've got my new biggest scar, about 7.5 inches worth of scar. Thick scars. You can see I've got my arm out of the sling, but don't tell the doctor. I was just fed up with it. So that's my news. Topics. I was going to ask people what their opinion was of using something like, either using the proper product or some kind of alternative, if you can suggest an alternative. What do you call them? Torque pens. So, you know, where after you've torqued up all your bolts on your bike, every time you torque one up, you put a little spot of that on, and it lets you know whether or not, for example, your gear lever or your brake calipers are tightened up properly.
Yeah, it'd be a good idea, I think. I mean,
I'm just wondering whether I ought to take my bike round to someone reputable to make sure my brake caliper is fixed on properly.
See, but what worries me though is who would be stupid enough to work on a bike and not tighten up all the nuts and all the bolts, you know?
I'm just quite forgetful, and I think you can put a dab of colour on or something, and you can spread it just past the nut as well, and tell whether it's moved.
Yeah. I tell you what, if anyone wants to know how that works, I actually did a video on how to do that as well. So
Did you? Was it a long time ago?
Did you forget to watch it?
I'll boy do something like that, along with a bit of his nail varnish.
Yeah, you might well have used some of his nail varnish to do it.
Yeah.
I do. I have taken a couple of pots of nail varnish off Lisa for doing it on mine, but it wears off pretty quick. Nail varnish, so.
Yeah, you had to put it on the bike, mate. You meant to put it on the bike.
Oh no, I put it in 21 places. So,
I always thought he had an extra finger somewhere.
well, I can count up to 21, but then I'm stuck. And actually counting past 20 gets you some funny looks.
That would in Suffolk, mate. We can't even get past 2.
Hey, I'm pretty sure in Suffolk you could get to 22 or 23. Or are they webbed?
I think you let take your socks off. You should tell you.
You can get to 20 without taking your socks off.
That's true, mate. That's true.
Anyone watching this, of course, we do love you, and we're only messing. Well, actually, Richard is only messing about. So if you want to send any hate mail.
Yeah. But I tell you, they can swim damn fast down there, can't they? Don't need flippers.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So market bike. I mean, we could do that. I mean, it's just a jest, really. I obviously have done a video on it, but if you really want to do that, then but there will be some further information about how that came about anyway, coming in part 2 of the video. So cheers, Richard. Thanks for that. Let's go across the skate then. In topics, buddy.
News. Good news, everyone.
Good news.
Yeah, I won't be vlogging for a couple of weeks. As of from Monday coming, I'm having an operation and I may be a little bit muffled like this, so it might not be worth talking. And then it's going to be about a fortnight sort of recovery, fortnight, 3 weeks. So I might stick some old stuff up. We'll see. See if anybody notices or cares.
I didn't know you were finally having the changeover, Skink.
Yeah.
Is that a full one, is it?
Is that why you've had a shave? I thought nobody shaved around the other bits.
No, that's the hormone tablets he's on.
Yeah. From now on, it's going to be called Skegina.
Next week I'll look another 10 years younger, and then week after that, another 10 years. And then week after that I'll have a man again.
and a part as an extra in Game of Thrones, no doubt.
Yeah, as the left tit.
I'm a body double.
Yeah.
And topics?
Some sort of rhino plastic thing going on, yeah?
And you want topics?
Yeah, if you got one.
Oh yeah, well I have actually, strangely enough, and it's more of a question. I want to discuss the top 10 motorcycling myths.
Top 10 motorcycling myths?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was recently reading Visor Down.
Oh, they're not in my good books. Oh, yeah, that's my news.
No, and there's a list of the top 10 motorcycling myths, and I thought some of them might be worth discussing.
Oh, right, you have them, yeah?
I had a myth that motorcycle riders are not all hunky, but definitely a myth.
That's no.
That's bullshit for a start.
I don't know where you heard that from.
That wasn't Visor Down, it was their sister publication.
Visor up.
I heard that all motorcycle riders know how to put their brake calipers on.
No, that's definitely a myth.
That's a myth.
That's Phil 480.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's easy putting them on, it's just remember to doing the bolts at the house. So anyway, top 10 myths. Skeggy, that sounds really good. I'm looking forward to that. Okay. Cheers, Skeggy. Let's go to Suffolk Andy for news and topics.
News went down with Weggy down to the Ace Cap on Sunday. Met up with. I actually met Del Boy there. Spoke to him. Met some of the Idiot Collective, even though I'm not in it and probably never will be. But so yeah, it was a nice day. Enjoyed it. And I fell out of love, mate. As easy as that. I'm broken hearted, but there you go. Nothing I can do about it. It's just one of these things.
You fell out of love.
And you know why.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Pretty much guess
You
why.
need to tell us.
I will do one day when I can get my heart round to it and I'm not sort of beaten up over it. But there you go. It's not a mechanical thing either.
Hey, so Gandhi, when it comes to you doing the vlog about it, I'll
Mhm.
send you this.
I'm going to need it.
I'll send you that one.
So all joking aside then, Andy, you're thinking about getting shot, are you, mate?
Possibility. Possibility.
That'll be going, and he's going to get a Transalp or something like that, or a Tiger.
Could be.
Tiger's the way forward, mate.
Yeah.
Tiger's the way forward.
Yeah, well, MT09, of course. That'll pick up your heart rate.
No.
I know.
You're
You
thinking
got
about
any
getting a massive
topics as
Ferguson.
well, though, Ash?
Pardon?
You got a topic as well?
Not really. No, I know. Skeggy's going to come up with his top 10 myths. I did read them the other day, but Skeggy, I can't remember any of them, but I did read it.
I'll give you the opportunity.
Yeah, I did read them, but I can't remember one of them. So now I have to leave it this week. I'm too broken-hearted anyway.
Yeah. We'll let Skeggy come to us with the myths, and we'll go through them. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, okay, mate, no worries. And hopefully the love may come back. You never know.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So thanks for that. Let's go then across to Dave. Who am I again? One news and topics.
This week, I've mostly been eating brown bread and Weetabix.
And fish and chips.
No, actually, I didn't have any of the chips.
Yeah, they look bloody lovely on the video.
He took his sandwiches with him.
Ah, right. His little flask, his unbreakable flask.
What he normally does on a ride out, isn't it, Dave?
No.
Right.
It's only 56 miles away from where I live, the final destination. But I went out. The news. I went out on Wyvern Bikers ride out, and I brought Ras Nagus with me, and he thoroughly enjoyed the ride out as well. And he was kind enough to be with me most of the way back, because I was feeling a little bit under the weather afterwards, because I'm still not 100%, and I was using this as a test ride to see how good I'm getting back onto the road, and it was a little bit of a strain on my neck and shoulders and that, but no, it was a good ride out, and I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it, and so did most of the other guys that I met there. Topics, no, as usual, can't be asked.
Okay, excellent. Okay, that's good. Super cheers. It's great to know that you're back out on the bike more often now as well, Dave, to be honest. I know that's been doing your head in, so it's really cool to know that you're back on the road.
Yes, it's Skunk put a comment up. He says it was good to see you back out there. You could see the shine in your eyes, even though you could see you were in pain.
Mm. Yeah. Well, they kind of offset each other, don't they, when you're on the bike?
Yeah, it does.
Brilliant. Excellent. Okay. And then for me, news and topics. Well,
Let me think.
Bike maintenance.
Bike maintenance, yeah.
Yeah,
well, it's
bike
not really
maintenance.
news, is it? Because I put a video out, but
You did.
Mr. P's caliper come off. But news, and why the part 2's not out yet is I've just got the caliper bolts, so I can go and put it straight again. So there you go. So that's why there's a part 2, because I want to put it all together so it works properly. I'm not trying to tease deliberately, honestly. I wanted to complete it and then say it doesn't go on and on and on. So that's my news and topics. I will probably do a vlog about this as well, but I really got annoyed, and it's annoyed with media reviews of motorbikes and dishonesty, or should I say, what's the word? What's the right word?
Responses?
Pardon?
Paid responses?
Paid responses, or maybe a tendency not to be unswayed by
Fact.
loyalties, let's say. And so, yeah, so my topic's going to be, and I'll embellish on that and elaborate when we get to it. But yeah, so basically, let's talk about what we think of bike magazines, and there are many of them, reviews of bikes, and whether or not you think they're swayed by any allegiance to a particular brand. Okay, so
Also, you could bring up a topic of, if you were to lose your bolts out of your bike, would you go over your ground to find them again so that other bike riders don't hit them and puncture their tyres?
Probably not on the bike. Best to walk
that's
back.
the reason why there's a part 2 to the video.
Ah. Maybe he found them.
Yeah, you have to wait for that one. Right, okay, so well made and ironic. Right, excellent. Right then, so now there is one other thing. My little girl took my notepad that I normally use for Hangouts. I can't find it, and I'm pretty sure there was a leftover topic from last week. Did we ever get to the ABS on and off thing or not?
No,
No.
I don't think we did.
Right. Okay. So I think that was the other one. But we covered everything else now, have we? So we've got top 10 myths, the ABS thing. I want to do the top 10 myth thing first because I'm really intrigued on that one. Then we'll do the ABS, and then.
If you do the top 10, you don't need to do the ABS because it's in the top 10.
Oh, is it?
I'll put a link in the chat.
All right, then we'll talk about ABS first then. So we'll do ABS first, then top 10, and then if nothing's gone crazy, we'll talk about bike magazine reviews and what you think. Bike mag reviews. Okie dokie dokie. Right, okay, before we do any of that though, let's go to the Q&A because our viewers are putting stuff in the Q&A. And I just thought I'd take this opportunity as well. If you want to get involved in the Q&A and you're watching this on YouTube, then you may find in the bottom left-hand corner there is a link to join this on the Hangout. It will say, would you like to join in the fun, or words to that effect. If you click on that, it will take you to Google+, and from there, on the top right of this video, you'll find a little box with lots of boxes inside, and that will be an option to get to the Q&A from there. Either that, or you just go to Google+, my Google+ page, and you should see this Hangout going, and the same thing applies. Okay, so there's two ways you can get involved is there as well. And
You
if
said
anyone
we got viewers.
yes, we have.
Wow. Are you popular or something?
At this moment in time, we have 23 viewers.
Where's my
So-
makeup? Hang on, we can't go any further. I've got to get my makeup.
That's like 24 more than usual.
Yeah. Crazy.
A lot of them are taking notes and getting ready to call the authorities.
So yeah, if you want to get involved, that's how you do it. And if you ever want to join the panel on the Hangout, just send me a PM and I'll give you the details to get joined into the Hangout group. I just send out a link every Thursday. There's no priority. There's no special passes. Anyone can join Hangouts, yeah? But it does help if you've got a camera and a microphone.
I'm
Okay.
just pointing out, I've heard that you can get like free stuff sent to you if you plug something on TV. But
Yeah,
if we've got
you
23
can.
viewers, I'm hoping for half a pint at least.
All the beers are available.
Well, I mean,
They are. I also have Hobgoblin Gold. A delightful
Hang on.
Hobgoblin Gold is the improved Hobgoblin. It's beautiful.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, thanks for that, Richard, and product placement.
But I will happily say Hobgoblin.
Yeah, definitely drink to that. Nice one.
If
I've
you're
got
gonna
thanks. That's
drink
all
to
right.
it, get yourself a beer, Andy.
Yeah,
Instead of that
apparently-
rock in a tin.
If you cover at least 3 brands, then it's not classed as advertising.
All right. Just a point. But that thing you're carrying in that can. Are you from down south?
Who, me?
Yeah, I thought you lived up north.
I do
Yeah.
up north.
We don't drink lager up north.
Yeah.
I don't understand this Stele Artois. What's that crap?
Yeah.
Right, well, what happens is, right, when you get bored of a particular location, you can do this thing called moving house.
Oh, so you are a southerner.
Yeah.
All right, it
No,
all falls
it's-
into place now.
It's a novelty can. That's what it is. You always see him with the same can. What he does is he puts his drinks in that can.
Yeah, well,
you know, they make
since
Do you know
you
they
know,
make lager? They come to Yorkshire, they get Yorkshiremen to drink proper beer, and then when they're finished with the beer, if you know what I mean, they leave it in cans.
That's called Mahypnol. That's called Mahypnol, and that's where you wake up with a sore bum.
I suppose that's why it's really expensive. It's like that coffee that's gone through the body of a cat.
Oh,
You know, it's,
Yeah, but they feed, what is it, squirrels flipping coffee and make them
yeah, it's a Civet Bang or something. I don't know.
no, is it
bank.
Civet?
A Civet, yeah, Civet Bang.
Right, let's get on to the Q&A, and the viewers have actually gone up, so blimey. Right, okay.
I can get
right.
down.
Yeah, we can soon sort that out. We can soon get but anyway, Light Up 550 says, I'm not seeing the invite on YouTube messages. Check your messages.
It'll be in your spam. It'll be in your spam because it'll have a link in it. It'll go straight to your spam, so you won't get an email about it.
Spam folder.
Light
Thank
it up if you want to get to it. It's plus.google.com/hangout/_HOA event/AP36 TYDRQ5 FHP_4 KBHDXYBCXNBN PYBOHMS LKOFQWOJ4.
I'm going to have to do it. I'm gonna have to do it. Sorry.
Okay, I'll pick up J4I0MOYY6MW. However,
He missed the hobnob in the middle.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and don't forget some of that was uppercase. But anyway.
All I can say is you
Sorry.
obviously don't want him to join, do you? If you're going to mute us just as we're at the end of it, you obviously don't want him to join. Just tell him. Don't leave him hanging.
to be honest,
Just
you
say
know.
sorry, no.
Yeah. It's by invite. We invite people in. We just don't let the, how many viewers we invite them in, obviously. All right,
Just
okay.
worried about your viewer count going down by one, aren't you? We don't
Right.
let you in, Light It Up 550. It's only Andy that ain't letting you in.
Bobby's in now. He can send you a direct.
I invited him in at the beginning of the hangout. Right, let me just do the Q&A. Otherwise, there will be.
Hi, Bobby.
Hi, Bobby.
Hello, Bobby.
That reminds me, talking of trouble, how to get someone back that's been kicked from a hangout. Just a little. Right. Right.
You have to set up
Okay,
a new
hi,
account,
Bobby.
call himself Light It Up 550 and ask for an invite.
Right.
Oh,
let's
dude,
go with-
he was asking me for a link before, so I wasn't sure if I was going to get here on time, which I didn't. So I hope you don't mind. I just sent him one. I don't know what I just missed.
I've already sent him a link. Stop. About 40 minutes ago, I sent him a link. Right. Now, let's get to the Q&A.
You're welcome, buddy. You're welcome.
Hey, Joe, what do you know?
Look at that, when Bobby sends a link, it stays sent.
Hi, buddy. I'll get to you in a second. I'm desperate to get rid of the Q&A because people have posted some comments. I'm glad to see you made it in the end. Was it in your spam box?
No, I got the link from Bobby.
That's because Andy didn't really send it.
I know.
You're in here.
Okay, right, let's get on to our 8 right. Anyway, it says, was wondering who that clean-shaven and recently showered chap was for a while. Hello, Skeggy. Nice new look.
Recently showered, how rude.
That's his choir boy look, that is.
Yeah. Okay, there were other comments, but I think they've gone. Okay, 550, he says he's checked his message in spam, and he's actually here now as well, which is awesome. So we'll just bring it one anyway. Let me see. Big Kev, he says, just a quick good morning, chaps. On my way to work. Right safe, mate. Right invisible. Bye, Big Kev.
Hi, buddy.
Good to see ya. Okay, Rasnigus says, good evening all, Ras Negus here, and I hope I pronounced that right.
Ras.
No, mate.
It's more Negus than Negus, but it's good. It's close enough. He was the one that came with me on the ride out on Monday.
Alright, cool. Is that like Ras as in Ras Clark?
Yeah, he's a black man who likes his Jamaican music.
Hey, buddy. Yeah, blood and all that.
Right, see, this is where you gotta go. What's up, my Ras niggas?
I'd say
I don't think we'd get away with that.
No, we won't get away with that.
I was about to say this is taking a dark turn, but
Oh my God, Rich, I missed you.
Pussiola, and all that. Anyway, so yeah, hi Ras Negus. I like that name. Nice. Okay.
That's what?
Ras Negus.
Careful how you pronounce that
one. Okay, so 08 Ride says, topic 10 things to put off. What? Top 10 things to put you off your motorbike. Suffolk Andy to start. Something about a sore ass. Bit of the pun. Okay.
Oh, God. I know what you mean.
Tosh is in. Tosh is in. He says, just a quick hello. My spattering chums, I'm going to bed, so I thought I would just.
Yeah, he's going to give the missus a good old seeing to, isn't he?
Oh, he's getting his lucky night tonight, isn't it? Is it?
Yeah, she told him, didn't she? Oh, you get the fucking bed now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it sounded like that stuff as you slag.
Yeah, you slag.
I didn't touch his case.
Literally.
Right. So he said, Richard looks good. I missed him yesterday. Oh, hang on. I missed him yesterday when I was riding. Anyhow, night, chaps. Ride safe, and don't forget your lots of work.
Oh, Tosh is awesome.
Love it. Thanks for that, Tosh. And wait, Ryan also comes back and says, in 2 weeks, I'll be saying I've been in Ireland and it was lovely and wet and also blooming cold. Last time I go on a tour with that flaming Wyvern biker, no updates on tents will be given.
Yeah, they said too much about the old sleeping arrangements, have they, with these kids at the moment, you know?
One six-man tent and 2 sleeping bags.
It's going to be very cosy.
I think they're keeping it very tight between themselves, if you know what I mean.
I thought tenting was something in the trouser department.
We'll soon find out when Keith comes back with a new rapist vest.
Actually, you know what? I just remembered. You know,
with a wider mouth.
Yeah.
Exactly. I just remembered though. You may laugh, but we've all seen Keith's
rapist vest.
Motorbike Community Challenge. What you pack in your bike, and he's already got his lube.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm not lying. You go check out his video. He's already got the lube ready for Ireland.
And the worrying thing is, you can guarantee because he's who he is. When he gets there, it'll still be there because he wants to clean it out.
Yeah, it won't be 08 Ride anymore. It'll be 08 Ride.
I think on night 1 it'll be 01 Ride. By the end of the holiday, 14.
Just remember, Keith. Just remember, Brokeback Mountain was a film, not a documentary.
So if Keith comes back and starts doing you've seen him on that photo of him riding that bull. So if he comes back and he's just sort of wearing the old white beat, sort of going there, who's your fucking daddy? You know which one of them was more dominant.
Oh, jeez.
Keith will be running the show like Tosh's wife. Get here, you slag!
I'm gonna give you a big ball kick.
Get down to give me 50.
Yeah.
I think the series is going to have an 18 certificate on it at this rate.
21 certificates in America.
Yeah.
Funny thing is, Keith never did say why he got divorced.
You're about to find out his new video will be 30 seconds long. Just as they going, all right, everyone, I'm back from Ireland, and here's a link to my Ireland series on Pornhub.
Right, let's get back to the panel then. Now, before we go into our first topic, excuse me, bit of a problem with throat, bonjour. But yeah, basically, we've got 2 more people on the panel, and then we'll go to our first topic tonight, which is talking about ABS, on or off. What do you think? Right. Okay. So, first of all, in line of appearance, let's start with Beast Rider. Hello, buddy. You made it.
I made it. Yeah. What did I miss?
Oh, wow. Press rewind.
Oh, God.
And whilst you're there, buddy, have you got any news or topics that you want to bring up tonight?
Wow. News, actually, not much has been going on. I've just been really, really busy. A lot of paperwork, a lot of jewelry making, and all that. So not too much news. I've been riding, well, actually today, but it's been raining quite a lot, so I've been missing the bike. As far as topics, you know what? I defer to your good judgment, Mr. B.
Oh, okay. Well, in my last video, you might want to trust that judgment. So, yeah, okay, buddy, no worries. And also, welcome to Joe, lined up 550.
How's it going, guys?
Awesome, buddy. Would you like to say
Joe,
hello?
you got in.
Give us some news and topics, buddy.
I'm trying to quit smoking.
Okay.
Good on you, mate.
So I've been smoking on this vape pen, but other than that, there's nothing really going on.
Is it depressing you, Joe?
What?
Is it depressing you?
Not really.
Oh, you don't sound very happy. You know, you're normally happy-go-lucky, jovial self.
Oh no, that's because I don't have any weed.
All right.
Often medicinal substances are available.
Fucking hell.
Oh, look that guy.
I'm just gonna throw it out there. Like,
There's nothing wrong with honesty. Nothing wrong with honesty, bro.
Oh, come on, it wouldn't be like that 550 if you didn't mention weed during a hangout. Come on.
I try not to like centerize my channel around it, but there's 2 things I know about: motorcycle and marijuana.
Yeah, and you got a job in a smoking shop.
I did.
See, everything happens for a reason. That's why I say everything happens for a reason.
I did pass my training course though. I went through training with flying colors, so it wasn't very hard.
Well, that's excellent. Excellent. Now we're getting news. He's passed his training course and everything. So they're going to keep you on then.
Yep.
Awesome. Excellent.
And in the next few months, they're opening up a hookah lounge, so I might be able to move up in the company to work in the hookah lounge instead of just selling pipes.
You say a hooker lounge?
That does
Yeah,
sound
a
like
hookah lounge. Not a hooker lounge, a hookah lounge.
All right.
All right.
Hookah, is that how a Yorkshireman says prostitute?
Yeah.
I mean, see, a hookah.
Oh, I'm going to see to hooker.
We've upset Keith now, he's gone.
Is
see
that,
hookah.
what has happened with Keith is his laptop fans kicked in and it's drained the power grid and they've had a power cut.
No, he's probably got to look at Game of Thrones to have a quick fucking run for the wrist, I reckon.
Oh, yeah.
Either that or he's trying to find out how to get to Ireland.
Yeah, probably.
Okay,
Are
right.
the hookers better in Ireland?
What's that?
Are the hookers better in Ireland?
I'm not trying any myself.
Look, I'm not trying to be funny here, Beast Rider. You know, you're my brother from another mother and all that. But I don't know whether anybody else has noticed the elephant in the room. You're not quite blending in with the little chaps in front of you, as well as you think, as well as you think you are.
Oh man. Yeah, so gotta have a little variety there. You know what I'm saying?
Well, clearly Bob is the leader.
All right.
Darth Vader wasn't white.
Yeah.
Well, he was.
And
And
Joe
then
just
he was.
puts it out.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Okay. But anyway, I've seen. Do you know what? I nearly said something that I know I shouldn't have said, so I stopped myself. But let's just say it contained the words Bobby and lightsabers and steam them. Okay. But,
Yeah.
Why are you thinking about Bobby's lightsaber?
Is yours purple, Bobby?
Only when it's been in the sun too long.
No, I think Bobby's is more likely to be lilac compared to some of the things we've been talking about.
Let's get on to our first topic then. And just as we do that, I'm just going to go to the Q&A. 2277 says, bolts check, nuts double check. Oh yeah. Absolutely. And Headcat Harley comes in with a helpful comment, which is ABS off, calipers on.
Oh yeah.
Right then, so
yeah.
yeah, otherwise they fall off. So our first topic then tonight is ABS. What do we think about ABS? Should you be able to switch it on and off? Do you like ABS? Do you not like ABS? What do you think? And who wants to kick it off? I'll throw it open to the panel.
I'll kick it off.
Okay, line it up straight in there.
I don't have it, so it's always off.
Okay.
I've got a 30-year-old motorcycle without it. So,
Well, that was very insightful.
I know, right? You don't need ABS.
I do have ABS, but you can't tell because I've had too many bits of food, and I've developed a layer of fat around them.
I used to have ABS, yeah.
You got the keg surrounding the six-pack.
Damn right.
Yeah. So for you
Yeah,
then,
brother. Preach to the converted.
I don't want to hear this in the back. Did you say you got a nipple that's inverted then, Ken?
Only when it's cold.
Usually mine stand out when it's cold.
Oh,
Ed,
God.
you pick up Jazz FM?
That's
Well,
why
we're
it's
talking about ABS,
inverted.
guys. We're not going to be talking about man nipples tonight, okay?
Kev,
Why not?
Jazz FM?
Sorry?
How do you pick up Jazz FM?
Twist it to the right.
That's a red dwarf joke.
Tuning in Radio Luxembourg there.
This is the BBC.
Let's try and get some sanity. And so
Good
Joe
luck.
has never had ABS, so basically says haven't got it and don't need it.
I think everybody should be taught on a non-ABS bike to start off with so they can learn how to brake properly, because there's nothing worse than relying on technology that if it fails you don't know how to stop yourself in time. And personally I think you are more likely to be able to control a vehicle if you know what the vehicle's doing, rather than relying on technology to get you out of any trouble that you might have got yourself into because you didn't know what you're doing in the first place.
See, I think the other way. I think if you can take the human element out of something and it can assist you, then it's got to be a good thing. See, I've done emergency stops and I've went through all my training and stuff like that, and apart from Zed said, all my bikes have had ABS, and like I say, emergency stops on the on my Mod 1 and things like that, and I've never had the ABS kick in. So you must have to give it a bloody big handful of front brake for it to kick in. So, they teach you how to brake properly anyway during your training, so...
I'm kind of with Kev on this, because if you've got ABS, and I've never owned a bike with ABS, but I've ridden bikes with ABS, and I've never managed to kick it in. Even in the wet, I've tried to get them to kick in on the front brake, and I couldn't do it. But if you're experiencing ABS, then you've already done something wrong, and
Yep.
it's possibly saved you from a lot of pain and a lot of expense.
Yeah.
Even if you're learning on ABS, and let's be fair, soon you're going to in this country, because all bikes are going to have ABS in the next few years.
Yeah.
So
Debs,
don't know what happened there. So you're going to learn it. But even if you're learning on it, surely, if you're learning and the teacher is teaching you properly, you're never going to experience the ABS kicking in anyway. That's kind of the point, isn't it? It's like in a car, isn't it? How often do you experience ABS in a car? When it's icy, and that's about it. Or when you're doing it on purpose for a bit of fun.
That's it. Yeah, that's the way I think.
Yeah.
I like to think I've been taught to brake properly, and I do brake properly, or what I think is braking properly. So if I get into a sticky situation and I panic, and I do something wrong, which we're all human. If technology can take over and get me out the shit, then I'm all for it personally.
It's about what ABS is for as well, because it's not about just braking. It's about allowing you to carry on steering. So if you lock up a brake, you're not steering no matter what you do. You're heading to the scene of the accident, aren't you? Whereas if you can get ABS on, you're going to steer in and out of it. You've got that opportunity to get out of the way.
I can see that working more on a car than a bike.
Yeah. Well, no, because the wheel never locks for more than a tiny fraction of a second. That's kind of the point of ABS. But as I say, if you hit the ABS, all you have done is prevented a lockup. So if you were braking that hard and that rapidly, it's because you've not weighted up the front wheel properly, generally, isn't it? So if you just snatch on a brake in a panic, and anyone can snatch on a brake in a panic, can't they? You can be riding for 20 years and still do that. Snatch on a brake in a panic. Do you want to feel a judder through the bars and be a bit uncomfortable, or do you want to slide underneath that truck?
I know I locked up my rear wheel like a week ago.
Locking up rears is really easy, isn't it? But it's actually not that big a problem unless you're doing it around a corner.
No. The car was...
That's where my only ABS experience has come in, going around a corner, a wet corner, actually a wet sandy corner, and that was it for my ABS experience. Wet and sandy, not so much.
But what happened to you, Bobby? What would have happened, do you think, if you hadn't had ABS?
You know what? I mean, honestly, in that situation, I cannot tell you exactly what would have happened. I like to think that my training would have come in and I would have feathered the brake a bit and made sure that I stayed up. But when it kicked in, it felt like I had more control, and it was of the bike itself, not so much the braking, but of the bike itself, and I could keep it up a little bit easier.
Because that's kind of the point, isn't it?
Yeah, I have arguments for and arguments against it. I mean, I would love for the ABS system on bikes to be, kind of like a shift on the fly type of thing. You can turn it on, turn it off whenever you need it. That would be great. But I agree with what was said before. If anybody's going to learn how to ride a bike, they should totally learn on a bike that does not have ABS, so that they know what to do and be put through their paces so that they know what to do. And then, if you get a bike with ABS, let's say it stops working, you know what to do.
I think I know I am fairly unlucky when it comes to sort of computerized things or electrical things. And knowing my luck, I'd just go to squeeze a lever and I'd hear a bleep and sort of a little message pop up saying syntax error or something like that.
Please turn off and on again.
I mean, that's the good thing about ABS, though, isn't it? That it never fails and stops your brakes working. But the way it's designed means it fails and the ABS stops working, but your brakes carry on working.
Well,
the last thing you need is to...
I remember watching Long Way Round, and the one guy's ABS stopped working on that, and they had no brakes.
See, I suspect that might have been done for TV.
Yeah, that was a BMW though, weren't it?
But it might have been the way that the brake lost its sensor, because it'd done welding on it, and when welding is done and you don't disconnect the battery and the coil, then it can send a surge through and blow certain components in different areas. And it's possible, it's rather than the brake sensor being broken and not working, everything told it was working. It just didn't supply the correct signals anymore, and that's why it didn't work.
Holy crap, that must have been as scary as fuck.
And
That
that's
must be
why.
almost as bad as your calipers coming off.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, let's go to Suffolk Andy then, mate. Seasoned rider. What do you think about ABS?
I have no idea about ABS. I've never owned a bike. I've never ridden a bike with it, so I really can't say. But the only thing I will say is we've all got to get used to it because they'll all be coming through in the next few years. So it wouldn't bother me if I went down to the shop and bought a new bike or anything that had ABS. It wouldn't put me off, and I'd probably not turn it off, keep it on, and get used to it because I personally think it's got to be more safetier than an ordinary brake. I've seen a couple of demonstrations on YouTube where they've put a bike with ABS and the same bike with normal brakes in a wet conditions, and they've broke them hard, and the bike with the ABS stopped a lot better and a bit safer than the bike that hadn't. So that's all I can say. I don't really know nothing about it.
Yeah. Okay, Andy.
I just checked, by the way, it's compulsory from next year in the EU.
Yeah. 2016 ABS on every bike.
I take it that's only for new bikes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And have we covered everyone then?
I just think so.
Just one more point on the learning without ABS. I think one thing that just to give a kind of devil's advocate approach, when you learn to do your emergency stops on a bike that won't have ABS at the minute, I remember seeing Roadcraft Nottingham's video where he had a student, and it was a bit wet. He snatched the brake and he went down, and that makes the argument that you should learn to brake properly on a bike without ABS. However, the flip side is, if you learn to brake on a bike with ABS, that wouldn't happen. So you would actually be able to find out where the limit of braking is without braking yourself. Followed by, now let's do it properly. That might be an interesting way of looking at it. Because that thing of bikes, isn't it? How far can you lean? How hard can you brake? How much can you do with a bike when the penalty for getting it wrong is pretty steep?
It's always human error, isn't it? You know, it's not normally the bike that let you down.
Yeah.
Unless you've got an Italian bike.
Unless you've got an Italian bike. But you shouldn't be able to crash that one because it don't start.
Well, that's true. That's true.
If you're falling off it, it's not moving, is it?
Well, what I used to do with it in the garage, I used to just stand there with it and just kind of lean over with it and make engine noises.
Did you go?
Yeah, I used to go "Boo," like that. Yeah.
When you did your engine noises, were they silent?
Well, I just had to kind of guess because we had it running twice. So
I'm going to do my engine noises.
Okay to flag Italian lights off now then.
He can do it now, can't he? Now he's got a British bike.
yeah.
Is it changing the colour of the garage floor yet, Kev?
Not marking its territory. I think they have to be pre-1970 to mark the territory.
There's nothing wrong with a little oil spot.
No, if it was little.
Just to bring it back a little bit, if you felt safer with ABS, would you go faster?
Faster than we already do.
Yes.
No.
Because one of the things that sprung to mind when he was talking about safety is what Clarkson said once: if you want everybody to obey the speed limit and give correct distances between people and drive safely, put a whacking great big 6-inch spike where the horn button is on your steering wheel and see how many people speed around then and don't wear their seatbelts and things. And I was just thinking, if you felt really comfortable with ABS, would you go faster than what you do now?
No.
I don't think ABS would have that much of a factor in how fast I went.
I agree. Yeah, I tend to ride to the conditions and to my skill, so that wouldn't change whether I was using ABS or not. So yeah, I think I agree with light it up. I don't think it would affect it.
Well, unfortunately, the panel that we have here are all people that do tend to ride within their safety limits, and we do understand these things. But I was thinking more in general public rather than the panel, because like I said,
it depends
most of us
how safe it makes you feel, doesn't it? Because
Yeah.
the problem with cars is they've isolated you so much. You can't hear what's going around you.
Yeah.
You can't feel the road surface. You're not really. You're piloting, aren't you? You're not driving. You're just pressing buttons.
Yeah.
I don't know if putting ABS on a bike would make that feel any different. I mean, I've ridden Kev's bike, and didn't make me go any faster. No, it had ABS. I did try and get the ABS to kick in on Kev's bike, and I couldn't do it.
The strange thing is, Tosh rode your bike and it went faster.
That's true. I rode Tosh's bike and I went faster.
And Danny's.
No, Tosh's bike really goes faster. I haven't ridden Danny's new bike, but I mean, it's the same as Tosh's, isn't it? So I rode his TT. But the Blackbird.
73.
Yeah, the Blackbird. Oh, that's really quick. That gets up to 60 in no time at all. And then obviously no faster than that because that would be naughty.
Well, obviously.
Right, so I'm gonna chime in then on the ABS thing. So obviously I've ridden a long time, and all that time I've never had ABS, and my ride style, and sometimes I may need to get the back out for a corner, for example, and I can't with ABS, and it's a scary feeling. Because what happens is the back brake just stops working, which is a really scary moment. And also, pardon? What was that?
I think he's talking to.
Sorry, I thought my mic was off. Sorry, gents.
No worries, buddy. So the thing that I don't like about ABS is when it kicks in, it's like your brake's gone. And I don't know if anyone's got an ABS car before and it's been icy and they put their foot on the brake and basically the pedal says no and no brakes, and you think, oh my god, it's a kind of a scary feeling. Well, on a motorbike, you've only got two tyres.
There must be something wrong with your ABS, Andy. That ain't how it works. There must be something wrong with your ABS if that's what's happening.
No, it judders. No, it totally.
It judders. It judders, yeah.
It judders, but you don't have control anymore. As soon as the ABS kicks in, you lose control. And if you get on an ABS bike, easy test for anyone to try. Get on an ABS bike, try and lock up the black wheel, especially if the road's wet. And you've got grip, and all of a sudden the ABS kicks in, and you go, and you just can't stop. You just cannot stop the bike. Don't touch the front brake.
You must have more grip than if your rear wheel is locked up. You must have. It's that simple physics.
No, absolutely not, Richard. Because
when your wheel is locked up, it has no grip.
It is grinding against the ground. It is grinding. There is friction. All right. The point of ABS, this is basic physics. ABS lets go of the brake and allows the wheel to turn. If the wheel's turning, there is no friction. Think about it.
No, sorry, Andy, you're wrong. Sorry, you're wrong.
Where's the friction from a turning wheel with no brake? Sorry.
You only get grip from a turning wheel. Once a wheel is locked up, it has no grip. That's why when you lock up your tyres on a car, you carry on skidding. When you don't lock them up, you stop much quicker.
Sorry,
I think you guys are talking about grip.
Maybe not. That's not grip's not the right word then. Friction that causes things to slow down. Yeah.
Well, here's the problem with that though. When you're skidding and you're sliding, you're actually losing friction because you're heating up the rubber's melting, and the friction is dying off.
And the tyre is skipping over the surface, not gripping it.
Exactly. So what ABS does is it stops it from that slide, gives it a tiny bit of spin, re-engages the brake so that it tries to get the friction back. So that it's a physics thing, you know.
ABS pretty
cadence
much
braking.
feathers the brake for you.
Yeah, cadence braking. That's all it is. It's just very, very good at cadence braking.
Okay.
The only thing is, if you were trained properly, your brain and your foot and your hand that are controlling the brakes on your bike would be a little bit better at it because you can actually put just the right amount of pressure into it. You can do it at different intervals. ABS has basically its own standard interval. So it'll stop the slide by turning the wheel a little bit, re-engage to stop the wheel, and if it continues to slide, it'll, again, turn the wheel and come back on, but it does it at a very standard interval. A properly trained biker can change that interval depending on what they're feeling from the road. No computer's going to be able to do that.
I think you hit it on the head there. I think, because I said to Andy, I said, if I've never ridden with ABS, and I think had it been my bike, I would have probably disabled it and then re-enabled it come winter. Purely and simply because I have heard people say about you don't get the feel of the braking that you do with ABS that you do without. I mean, I don't know whether it's an age thing. I don't know whether Suffolk Andy is the same. How long we've been riding. You're taught to feel through the brakes, through your foot, through your fingers. You can feel. I mean, I don't know whether you're the same, but if you've got a slightly warped disc, you can feel it in your fingers or your foot. And this is why I can't understand when people take a bike for an MOT and they say, "Oh, it failed on a warped disc." How did you not know you had a warped disc?
I just say one thing: if John McGuinness uses ABS to such effect, if he doesn't turn it off, then I suspect that probably even the best riders in the world do better with ABS than without.
I totally think that's
I mean, I would imagine that they ride a little bit harder than we do.
They do, but John McGuinness is using ABS.
Yeah. I mean,
I think his ABS system's a lot better than the ones you get on a bike you get from the showroom.
Not on the Superstock race.
Superstock, no, it's exactly the same.
It's the same bikes. They're out of the showroom, aren't they?
There's a problem with ABS. I'm saying there's a problem with the older rider accepting ABS. Purely and simply because we've been taught that we are the ABS. Whether I'm right or wrong in that, I don't know.
I think if I buy a new bike and it's got ABS, I won't turn it off, and I'll just learn to ride with it. If that's there to help me in any shape or form, so be it. And that's how I look at it. Any new technology that makes riding the bike safer, I'm up for it.
I'd say there's one thing you said in your video, Andy, that I found interesting, and I don't know if you gave an answer or not to it. Well, I don't think you gave an answer to it, or I missed it, which was the impact on insurance of turning it off. Because you said in your video about if you turn it off, you've got to tell your insurance company.
Yeah.
What is the detail on that then? Because
I told my insurance company that I switched mine off, and they said that doesn't make any change to my policy, and they've made a note.
Right.
Because obviously there are a lot of bikes out there you can switch your ABS on and off anyway. BMW you can switch it on and off.
You can on mine. On my bike you can. Yeah. Just click literally two button presses. That's all.
Yeah. A lot of bikes you do it and it's just secret, isn't it? There's some kind of weird secret button press to do it.
Yeah, but I recently watched a bike review. I think it might have been a BMW, the BMW 1000R, the naked version. SS1000.
S1000R, yeah.
Yeah, it's got an ABS on and off switch on the actual handlebar.
Sorry, you said S1000R. I'm just having a moment. Bear with me.
I would have thought that the main reason why Mr. B said that is because we all know insurance companies try to get out of paying anything.
Exactly.
And if you don't tell them and you don't get to switch it back on the after the crash or whatever because they've taken the bike away and they see that it's not on, they'll say, "Oh, you didn't inform us, therefore we're not paying out."
That's exactly the reason, mate. It's exactly the reason. Because the insurance company will find any way of trying to get out of obviously paying out. And so you just tell them everything you do. 99.9% of the time I've told them exactly what I've done to a bike. They don't increase the premium. They just go, okay. But you've made a note. And that's the main thing. All it's about is so that they can't get out of it when it comes to any claim if there is one required. But yeah, I mean, ABS, if people like ABS, that's fine, it's great. sometimes I need to lock up wheels. Okay, I know it seems crazy. I'll tell you what though, anyone that wants to lock up a front wheel, fair play to you. It's not something I want to do. But if I can't lock up a wheel, and I've had the rear wheel ABS activate, and it's increased my braking distance. All right, now I'm going to do some tests on it. I'm going to do a video on it, and I'm going to try it out and see how it works out, and it'll be honest, and it'll see ABS versus non-ABS, because I know I can make my rear wheel turn without locking up, producing more grip than no brake at all. That's my theory in my head. We'll find out what happens in reality, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to test that, and it'll be an honest test, and we'll see what happens with that. But it may be that I'm just an old fart, but I don't like it when it kicks in because I can't feel the road anymore. So that's my problem with ABS.
Hey, we're all old farts.
Whoa, I'm only 30. Whoa.
Yeah,
I'm only 22.
You've got the mentality of an old fart.
No. Didn't they say on your on that form or piece of paper, whatever it is, the handbook that you got, that it says that ABS will take longer for you to slow down?
Yes.
If it kicks in, yeah, it will. But it's not. I think that's the mistake, isn't it? People think ABS is about stopping quicker. It isn't. It's about preventing lockups and keeping control of the bike.
Yeah.
I know, but there are occasions when you want to stop quicker.
It's all about steering around the obstacle. The trouble is, if the obstacle goes all the way across the road, you're going to hit it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in a position where you need to steer, the best thing to do is to steer around a problem. If ABS kicks in and you're heading a straight line for a brick wall, try and let go of the ABS, maybe try and steer around it. Depends on the scenario. Oh my God, there's so many angles that could go. But trust me, when my ABS kicked in on my rear, I kind of let a bit of a probably brown pants moment because I just lost my brake and I couldn't get the feeling back because the ABS was on, and I was fighting against it. And in the book it says, just let the ABS do its work. And it's like, no, I want the rear brake, thank you. But anyway, we'll leave it there. I'll do those tests. We'll see what happens. It'll be interesting.
Do you know when the new ABS rules come in next year? Like Richard was saying before.
Yeah.
What does anyone know what the rules are going to be as to turning them off? Will you still be allowed to turn it off if it's law that all bikes need to be supplied with ABS?
Well,
I would imagine it would be the same as the catalytic converters. All bikes need to be supplied with a catalytic converter. However, there's no rules in this country that state that you have to have them on so you can take them off.
Yeah,
it's only if they decide it's an MOT failure that'll be a problem on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
How are the police going to figure out if you have ABS or not activated?
Well, I think
they're not.
It'll be insurance claims.
There'll be that's what I was getting at. Yeah, insurance claims. But you're right there. Yeah, the police would never be able to work it out, would they?
No. I mean, I think the idea is that they say that you must supply a bike that comes equipped with ABS. Whether or not wishes to use it is by the by, but basically it must come with ABS. That's the whole point, I think, of the new European flipping union laws on that.
I'll try and find it for you, Andy.
What's your opinion on engine braking? And yes, does anybody have any experience with that?
Learn it, use it, love it.
Like, I use engine braking all the time, but I'm just wondering with ABS, how does that play? Because I've never had a bike with ABS.
I don't think it affects.
Well, I can tell you now, the engine braking will win.
I mean, I do engine braking all the time, but I was advised the other day that you shouldn't do engine braking on a shaft drive.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Quite surprised me. Now, whether the guy was wrong or not, I don't know. We're talking a motorcycle dealer. He should know.
Yeah, but it's the same as braking in your engine. They advise you to go so many miles at this speed, and then so many miles at those revs, and so many miles at those revs. Yet, from what I can tell, the largest number of mechanics out there say the hard braking method is by far better.
Yeah.
Definitely, hard braking is what I go for. My buddy just picked up a 2014 636. less than 4 miles, he was already hitting 100.
I think it's a
You want to
disgrace
fluctuate.
1,000 hour and then make you only do 50 miles an hour on it.
Yeah, no, you
Well,
want to fluctuate your engine. That way, your ring is set properly. Because if you set your engine at that low RPM range that they want you to, it won't, like, the rings won't sit right.
Well, yeah, that's just the running in thing. I mean, the Hayabusa, for example, I know because I can say this, I've got a Hayabusa. The running in speed is up to 115 miles an hour. In 6th gear, it's 4,500 revs at 115 miles an hour. Just quickly on the running in thing, if you always never go above the recommended rev limit, you're gonna see everything at that rev limit. Which is a bad thing, because then when you go above it, everything goes, what's going on? So it's kind of, on average, you stick to your rev limit of 6,000 revs, but you must go to top and bottom as well during that period, otherwise nothing's...
You'll create a lift inside the cylinder.
Yeah.
Well, when I obviously I've just finished breaking in the Tiger, just like you just finished breaking in the MT, Andy, and I went all the way up through the rev range, just the same as it did on the Aprilia, you know, and didn't have any problems. Well, when the Aprilia was running, it didn't have any problems. Electrics, that wasn't mechanics.
The key thing on running it in is you never go to the high peak of revs. Like the rev range of the MT-09 is up to 12,000. You wouldn't sustain 12,000 for long if you were still running in, because that's a silly thing to do, because things will get hot very quickly. What you want to do is you average your 6,000 revs, but now and then take it up to 12 so that everything seats properly and you burr everything out. Otherwise, you might have a nasty experience later on down the line.
When you're breaking in an engine, I found it's best to just fluctuate. Don't keep it steady.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just always want to fluctuate. Just don't cruise at a certain RPM or anything like that. You want to keep it going up and down, up and down.
Absolutely. The easiest way to do that is just go up and down through the gears, staying at the same speed, and that will sort you out.
Maybe that's a Keith's problem. It's not a slow rider. Now he's rejoined us. Keith's not a slow rider. He bought his bike off somebody who'd run the bike in. He thinks he's going as fast as that bike goes. Hello, Keith.
Yeah, well, come on. It will go more than 12 mile an hour.
That's not fair.
Oh.
No, I've definitely seen him doing 13 miles an hour.
There's nothing wrong with sticking to the limit.
I'll tell you, going down those hills on the way to Matlock, he actually got up to 22.
Don't believe you. I don't believe you for a
I'll tell you
second.
what, there's one particular corner that gets very tight very suddenly. I bet he got caught out by it again.
Right, okay, I think it's time to move on to Q&A and then the next topic, which I'm really intrigued about, which is the top 10 biker myths, or, top 10 myths. Right, so let's quickly go to the Q&A, and Ross Nagus says, I'll be back soon, got to make a quick run. Okay, buddy. And he's got some stuff earlier on. I'll tell you what, I wish Google would sort out the order of this Q&A. It's shocking. Ras Nagus also says ABS on loose gravel or snow-covered surfaces can significantly, increase your braking distance, although it's still improving vehicle control. What do you guys think about that? Yeah, you know, a vehicle control, or is there a wall or a cliff coming? What do you want to do then? Do you want to steer or do you want to brake? I don't know.
Stop riding at cliffs. If you're riding towards a cliff,
reach out.
I just ride off and then pull my chute, and I'm good to go.
Well, yeah, it depends. If it's a cliff, Richard, you're going to hit it as hard as you can.
Okay, David Fletcher says, it seems it's the ABS brake modulator, few notes on BMW sites. Yeah, I mean, that would be scary if the ABS had a bit of a fit, like, and you couldn't get your brakes back. Handy that you can switch it off, of course, with a lever on the handlebars if anything did go wrong. But anyway, there we go. Desuto77 says, most engines these days are already broken in by the time the user gets it, due to bench tests to the units. Okay.
No.
I don't think so.
No. They are tested.
I don't know. Normally, the assembly lines, I don't think they bench test every engine.
No,
I've seen the ones on the Harley. What they do is they give them like a 5-minute run up, and they just run it up, run it down, make sure everything's working fine, and then pass it on to the to put it into the bike. That's all.
They don't test.
They're just testing pressures, oil pressures, etc. Generally on them sort of things.
Checking leaks and stuff.
Yeah, they haven't got time because they're on a production line. They haven't got time to give them to run them in.
They couldn't sit and run every engine that comes off that line for 500 miles. They just couldn't do it.
No, they
imagine the fuel cost in that.
Yeah, exactly. Fuel cost alone, yeah, just wouldn't be feasible.
To go through the roof. Do you want us to run it in for you? No, you're right, mate.
I'd do that job if somebody wanted to pay me to ride motorbikes 600 miles.
Yeah,
awesome. I'd do that.
Can you be on tarmac, please?
On tarmac best. Off-roading, yeah, I'll leave the motocross bikes to somebody else.
Well, actually, when you was riding the motocross bike, you was doing quite well, Richard.
At some points, I wasn't even in contact with it. That's how good I was.
Okay, new commenter. I always like it when I see new people in the comments. So, Rat Biker, hello. Rat Biker says, ABS on gravel and snow increases braking distance. Yep. A load of snow or gravel piled up in front of a Loctite gives it a lot more grip than the friction of the rubber. Okay. Nice one.
That does make sense with the way they're resurfacing the roads around here at the minute.
Oh my God, that's next week. Then we'll talk about resurfacing. So they started doing it around us as well. I'll tell you.
You went for a walk the other night, and you could actually pick up handfuls of gravel off the road surface. About mate. 2 inches thick.
Same thing around it. How ironic. Okay, Ross Nigger says, I changed the headlight bulbs on my bike yesterday. Awesome, DIY. Noticed that they were coming out. Noticed they were out coming home from the ride out. Had to take out the front have to take off the front fairings. I'm going to change the oil and filter next. Awesome. Get into DIY.
No, wait a minute. He's saying that they weren't fine. He changed the bulbs and then they didn't work.
No.
No.
And change.
He can't forget to change his blinker fluid, though.
No, exactly. Blinker fluid. In the UK, we call it the indicator fluid.
Oh,
and
indicator fluid.
Make sure caliper
most important part.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Giggy.
Exactly.
What it was.
Sorry, Richard. Stole your thunder.
Yeah, you beat me to it there, Andy. Make sure you don't talk, right?
Giggy, what it was when we were coming back from the ride out, he was in front and I had my 2 spotlights on, and he didn't notice that his lights weren't working. The dip just was not on.
Well, everybody knows at that stage you get off the bike and you thump your front headlight.
But he's fairly new, and he's not done bike maintenance before, and I told him basically walked him through how to do it and how to change his oil, what he's got to do and everything. And so he's going to try that out.
Everything on a motorbike should be treated the same as an old television. If it stops working, hit it. It works.
If it's not working, he ain't hitting it hard enough.
I tried that when my clutch stopped working. It didn't work.
Does that work for wives and girlfriends as well?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
It depends what sort of work you wanted to do.
And depends what they're into.
And don't hit her on the top of the head when you're having a blowjob.
I think you don't want to hit him in the chin.
Yeah, that could cause them to pass out and therefore not be able to perform any work or any duties whatsoever. So that's
any work? You've got your priorities all wrong.
No, that might bite your nuts off.
No, that just reminds me of this stupid joke that I heard when I was in 4th grade. It goes, how do you circumcise a redneck? You kick his sister in the jaw.
You heard that in the 4th grade?
Yeah, it was a progressive.
Wow.
That works well for teabagging as well.
Before we move away from bike maintenance, one thing that I want to stress: if you're going to do any maintenance that's not like basic like oil changes and stuff, go find your service factory, like your factory service manual. That will tell you how to do absolutely everything in your bike, and most of the time you can find them for free in PDF format online.
Yeah.
I know that it's like $30-40 to get the actual book, but at least find the PDF and look at it for free. That's one thing that I cannot stress enough about, is make sure you have your manual when you start going into your bike.
Absolutely. Yeah. And also YouTube's a good source of information sometimes. Well, not always, though. Sometimes. Yeah, the reason I started this channel is I looked for how to change a chain sprocket, and I couldn't find any videos where they weren't putting bars in the wheel and stuff. And it's like, yeah.
And brake calipers as well.
I'm thinking about doing a brake caliper one. You might want to watch it.
I'm doing a special on torque wrenches if anybody's interested.
Yeah. Or just, in fact, just actually attempt to tighten the bolt at all is probably a good idea. Right. Right, let's go to David Fletcher on the Q&A. He says, guys, ABS should only kick in when the tyre is locked, so you've induced that ABS modulates the on and off, and that's the most important grip. Yeah, my only problem with ABS, I would have ABS on all the time if it wasn't on and off.
Yeah.
If it was intelligent enough to feather and get the grip back rather than go on, off, then I would probably be more into it. But at the moment, I'd be... Anyway, yeah, we've finished.
Careful what you wish for. The EU will introduce the idea of automatic braking next.
Yeah, automatic steering and all that sort of stuff. Lane control on a bike.
Yeah, Google are probably working on that.
Hey, you could have a nap on your way to work, couldn't you?
I think the thing is ABS is actually meant to work before the wheel locks up.
But it doesn't.
It's supposed to work a split second before the wheel was going to lock, and then release, and then it's down to how much pressure you've got on the brake, obviously.
Well, yeah, technically the wheel could still be turning, but it's actually sliding, if you know what I mean. And that's how it should work. But in the feathering. But anyway, it's a big old subject. Needs to hang out for itself, really.
I thought we were going to get a few different subjects in tonight.
That's what I'm trying to do. Oh, shut up, Skate. Right, let me get through the Q&A and we'll get on to the top 10 minutes.
Q&A.
Right, Ratbiker says you really need to try snapping the lever to get it to fire on the front. I really don't want to snap my front brake. Never. It only cuts in when the front wheel decelerates to a near stop in short time. The wheel is locked up when it fires, not really before then. Yeah, I really wouldn't want to put... I've been riding for a long time and I know what will cause a wheel to lock up, and I never want to make that happen on the front. Never.
No. See you try and do a stop with ABS.
I did get the ABS when I rode that GSXS 1000. I did a bit of hard braking into a corner, and the ABS did kick in on the front, very, very lightly. I don't know.
Right, guys, you've got to be good now because Bex 88 has come, so you all got to be gentlemen now.
Hello.
Right. Yeah, Bex 88 is here, and she says, "Hello."
Hello, Bex.
Hi, Bex.
Hi, Bex.
Glad you fixed up found out your radiator issue, Bex.
Yeah, hopefully you don't have any issues with that. 08 Ride says the safety, inverted commas, of ABS doesn't make me take risks. No, and it shouldn't. And I don't know, nor have ever heard of anyone else that goes balmy just because the scenario in my head's like, oh yeah, I've got ABS, let's go! Crap. Yeah, if someone is going to take such risks, they probably, yeah, this is where Darwin kicks in anyway. If someone's going to take such risks, then they probably only know enough to put in unleaded petrol and push.
Well, maybe that's because bike riders are taught far more about their vehicle and how to use it than car drivers.
Well, yeah.
Agreed.
I think at the end of the day, if you really need to stop really, really fast, nothing stops you faster than a tree. Or a Mac.
Yeah, I mean, I would say though, to follow up to that, you should never put yourself in a position where you have to do an emergency stop.
Is it from 2018 then that they're introducing trees as mandatory on bikes?
Quick, deploy the tree! Yeah. I think I'd probably rather have one of those inflatable jackets than a fucking tree, to be fair.
We get into the echo, gents.
Okay.
There's a lot of echo.
Yeah,
Okay.
Echo.
There is a lot of echo.
Okay, there is some echo.
I never noticed until somebody said the word echo.
No, I didn't.
Right, at risk of getting banned here, I'm just going to mute you a second, Andy. Is it still doing it?
No.
No.
Hang up.
Stop.
Shut up, Andy.
Andy, you're not using the wrong marking, are you? Like last time. You're muted.
No, I know. I'm just seeing if it'll go away now.
Echo?
Is it gone?
Echo? Aha!
Alright, well, what I'll do, if it comes back, I'll mute myself when everyone else is talking, alright? Because I know if I try and fix the issue, then the hangout will go sideways. Okay, let's finish off the Q&A, and then I want to do the top 10 myths. Exudo Jones says, I don't think it will make you drive faster, but maybe closer to the car, bike in front of you. Ugh. On a side note, I'm not riding like that, but I can see people may, or think like that. Yeah, basically, if you've got ABS, just ride normally anyway, and hopefully on a greasy or hit some diesel, it will save you. But yeah, definitely don't take more risks. It's like wearing high vis and thinking that people can see you. Don't go there. And also, Bex88 says, yep, those of you on Facebook will see what I found out about the horses that...
Hoses.
I
I think it's glasses.
One.
Oh, no, hoses, sorry.
Put your glasses on.
I think it's more interesting when you say horses.
Yeah, the horses.
Yeah, don't call me horses.
I think it'd be even better if you just went straight up with horse.
Yeah, as well.
Those
guys
Managed
are
to lift the tank and reconnect them. We'll test it tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Awesome, like a boss.
I don't think it said like a boss. It's definitely said fingers crossed.
Alright, fingers crossed. I said like a boss as well. And Ratbiker says the R1200 brakes are servo assist, but there is way for ABS brakes working. It will blow the fuse before jamming on the system, and then when the fuses blow, you've got your normal brakes back. Right, okay. So finally, we can get to the next topic.
I would love waiting on my fuses to blow to get my brakes back. That's just a wonderful idea.
Yeah, I don't need to do that. There is a way of, Anyway, let's move on.
Just pull the ABS fuse out and just continue
I actually know that works. So if you don't want ABS, pull the fuse out. Okay, so top 10 myths in biking. Skeggy Cruiser, over to you.
First of all, we've got 25 minutes left. Do you want to try and cover all 10, or do you want to pick and choose out of those one posted in the chat?
Let's start at 10, and we can always carry on later.
Okay. Right. Top 10 biker myths. I'll be faster on race rubber.
No.
No, you'll fall off. It says, especially
in the
if
wet.
you're on a road, race tyres are built to shred heat very quickly because they are very hot. When Marquez is using them, so if the race tyre can get cold on the side because of the circuit, and fewer right-hand turns and lefts because of the back marker TRP just ahead of you half a lap. Imagine how stone cold they would get at traffic lights in town. So basically they're saying no, it is a myth. And the point is, there's a guy on Facebook who's regularly selling race tyres with tread on, and people are buying them for the road bikes, and it worries me a little because they have race tyres. It states on there race tyres, and on the side of the tyre it clearly states not road legal.
Yeah, you gotta understand, those tires are made from specific compounds designed for the racetrack. You are never going to get your tires hot enough on the highway for them to be usable. You are just going to slide your ass into oblivion. Darwin's going to take you to the pearly gates, and that's that.
Yep.
There's
There's
a
actually
reason.
a shop near us that
There's a
sells
reason why.
used race tyres. Believe it or not, there is a shop near us that sells used race tyres.
Yeah.
But, I mean, racetracks generally aren't wet and diesely, and roads are.
And generally, a good set of race tyres is better before it's gone through that really strange heat cycle that a race tyre goes through. You don't want it to heat up and cool down to the point where it's off the bike and stacked before fitted back on another bike, saying, yes, I've got race tyres on, so I'll be quicker than you.
The only reason at all to have race tyres is if you want to do a track day.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing the scene of nipping to a biker cafe and saying, right, we're off in 5 minutes, are we? I'll just get the tyre warmers on.
You've got to be careful there because there's a video on YouTube of a bloke going to the track and he slides around the corner because he forgot to take his rear warmer off.
The tyres would never warm up if I got them on. I thought I'd better get that in before somebody else did.
Aren't race tires not DOT?
Adam, that would never warm up.
How the hell can you forget to take a tyre warmer off?
I don't know, but I've seen it.
Dear. Anyway, I think that's covered that one. Moving on. Right. Biker myth number 2, expensive bikes are better.
Wrong. Especially when it's Italian bikes.
This is harsh on Kev because it actually pretty much says that.
It might as well say, this section might as well say, Kev is a tit.
That's not a
Might
myth.
as well say that.
That's not a myth.
What it actually says is the more expensive it is, the better it will be. Whatever's supposed to be good, usually right, but not with bikes. Wrong.
I think that's fair enough, but I still want an H2.
Oh, I want an H2 too.
With Italian bikes, the nicest bike to ride is the Ducati Rangers, the Monster 696. It's also the cheapest.
I can't speak for the 696, but the 821 I thought was bloody awful.
The worst is the Panigale R.
It's beautiful, though, isn't it?
Built to win races, it looks beautiful. Built to
It
win
is
races,
beautiful.
oodles of grunt, looks simply amazing, and ought to be a dream to ride. It isn't. It's demanding. I can't work out these words. Finicky, lumpy, bumpy, awkward. Riding to the costs of.
That's my ex-wife. Finicky and lumpy bumpy.
If you've got a Panigale R, you don't need to ride it, you just need to look at it and occasionally wipe the stains off.
I didn't ride it for a long time.
I've got some real-world experience with this question. I rode my 81KZ 550 to a Harley demo day. And I hopped on a Harley. After I got done with the demo day, I went straight back to my KZ because I had so much more fun on my KZ than any Harley that I rode that day.
Just goes to show. I mean, it says on here, it says 26,550 for that Panigale. It's still cheaper than the 42,500 Desmo. Well, okay. Anybody else got this up at the moment?
Desmodici, is it?
Desmodici, is it?
I don't know. I've not got it up. I'll bring it up.
Yeah, I think it does say Desmodici. I just weren't sure of the pronunciation.
I've got it up, but I can't read.
Desmodici.
It's not just the Ducati MV Agusta, the 8,999 Brutale 920 is more fun, and I must admit it's a pretty nice looking bike.
The Brutale is sexy.
Yeah.
The Phase 1000, and it just goes on basically just to explain to you that expensive bikes are not better. But
I
they
think
are
actually
better.
I think the bizarre thing is that I just said a bike was sexy and Kev agreed with me. We've found a bike we both like.
I think, to be honest, if you look at a Brutale and say it's not a nice bike, you need to be stabbed in the face because it's just a beautiful bike.
Repeatedly.
That sounds really problematic.
Yeah, if it's not a nice bike,
But we
It's
let you
you
fight
stabbed in the
for
face, Dave.
we let you fight for other horses.
I just want to quickly go back to the tyre thing as well. Just quickly, my opinion that if it says race tyres, it's for the track, yeah, not for the road. It's
I'm
that simple.
sorry, Mr. B, I can't allow you to come in there. We've had that discussion. It's not our fault. You decided to leave.
Yeah, I was the one who did it.
See, the thing about expensive bikes is it depends what you class as better. You know, for a lot of people who buy these types of bikes, it's not the fact that they're necessarily better, but they are definitely rarer, and they are most of the time head turners, and I think that's what these kind of people go for. I know
By
that's the
these
kind
kind
of
of
thing I go for.
people, you mean
I
you,
mean
don't
me,
you?
yeah, I mean me.
Yeah. What do you mean these kind of people?
Weekend warriors.
More people with money than sense.
Well, you know, I could have a fiver and it'd be more money than sense for me, so.
Yo, you beat me to it, Kev. But I was actually going to talk about myself.
Okay, moving on to biker myth number 3. Most accidents are caused by car drivers.
Well,
I will admit most car-to-car drivers accidents are caused by car drivers, but bike-related accidents. While most car drivers are dozy, slow-witted, ignorant, and myopic, they at least tend to follow predictable patterns of behaviour called the highway code.
No, they
Sure
don't.
about that.
In fact, most drivers, and they do when you think about the majority.
Yeah,
most
to be fair,
drivers
there's-
follow unwaveringly. So plotting a route around them on your nimble bike should be a doddle. The only problem is when they stop behaving in an orderly fashion and go rogue. It makes them hard to predict.
so basically every New York driver that ever existed.
Oh, well, they're all in New York, aren't they?
This is based on British, not you Yanks over there.
I mean,
Hey.
accidents don't involve cars, which is actually true.
Yep.
They involve other bikes. Police accident statistics show by far most dangerous thing you can do on a bike is ride in a group.
I wonder if that's true, because the statistics are going to be skewed, aren't they?
Well,
I would have thought most accidents are you riding off the road by yourself.
Yeah.
But who are you going to tell?
I think the thing is, when you're with a group, I've been in groups where, like Keith, I've sort of gone, I'm not riding with them again, they're a bunch of dicks. And it's because every now and again in a group ride you will get one or two that will try and show off.
yeah.
You know, and when they try and show off, that's when the accidents happen.
That hooligan mentality.
But it also says here that it's swayed a little bit because most of the time bikers ride in groups anyway.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean we're talking larger groups, aren't we?
Yeah.
And again, it depends on what type of group you're riding with. I dare say a group of nothing but Harley riders are probably one of the safest group rides there are.
Especially if they're wearing denims.
And probably the slowest.
Oh, I wonder if that bit is true about most bikes riding groups.
I know the C2 dub.
I don't think it'll be true.
But I wonder if it is, because a lot of bikers are summer bikers and tend to go in groups.
Yeah.
And that seems to be when the
some
accidents
kind of. Yeah, because they do tend to be affiliated either with some kind of club, and I don't mean like a gang, you know, like a motorbike club in the UK is very different to a motorbike club in the States, I think. But, you know, not only that, if it's not that, they tend, like you say, they tend to be weekend warriors or summer riders, and there'll be a gang of 3 or 4 of them, or maybe more, that all go out every weekend, you know. You see it, don't you? You know, anytime because I can only really ride properly of a weekend now. Every time I go off, I go for a run down to Wales over a weekend. I'm definitely in the minority being a rider on my own. There's always groups of 4, 5, 6 blokes and women.
So I
I
quite
think
like
that
riding
comes
by
with the
myself.
brotherhood.
I like a group ride, but I quite like riding with myself or
Yeah.
by myself, because you can just do what you want to do.
Yeah.
For me, I like riding two or three. 2 or 3 is the perfect number, I think. 2 probably. Because you got someone to have a bit of banter with, obviously, when you're off the bike, and you know, it's not such a big group that you're getting in each other's way. You can just open up away from each other.
Nothing the feeling of a huge group ride You know, when you look up in front and all you can see is 2x2 going up the hill and 2x2 behind you through your mirrors, it's a brilliant feeling. It's not safe, but it's a brilliant feeling.
Well, this is it. I mean, I think it's about experience, though, and I mean, I do love and enjoy group rides, but when I'm in a group ride, I ride completely different to when I do when I'm on solo ride, because I will stay with the pack, how frustrating that may be whatsoever, and you know, and I respect that, because what the last thing you want is someone, and this is what happens with the people that don't ride all the time, is they go out on their Sunday rides, and it's Sunday ride time. Oh, he's riding a bit fast. I'm going to try and show off, and then that's where it goes all wrong. I see it so many times. They ride outside of their limits because they don't ride all the time. I ride all the time. I don't need to show off. So if I go out in a group ride, I ride totally different to how I ride solo. And when I ride solo, I ride hard. Okay, I ride hard and fast, and it's totally different to what I am.
Definitely. That's why when I'm more on my own and when there's not like a big group ride or whatever, I like having one person with me. Me and Cowie Bungie 636 used to live like right down the street from each other before I moved, and me and him would go out and ride, but me and him would both be riding hard. I knew his riding habits, he knew my riding habits. He could tell when I was gonna go weaving through traffic. I knew when he was going to. You just know the other rider that you're riding with a lot better when there's only one person with you, or like one or two people with you, compared to having like 500 people. The C2 Dub meetup that just happened, 3 riders went down.
Yeah.
And there's probably about 300 of them.
Oh, what caused them? What caused the riders to go down? Do you know?
No.
No.
I wasn't around it.
It's quite common. It's running into the back of another biker. You know,
I think one guy was taking a turn too fast and ran off the road. Just when there's that many bikes around you, you're not paying attention to yourself.
Yep. That's where riding etiquette in group rides comes into it, where you should be in a staggered position until you get to a corner, and then you take your line and then go back into the staggered position again. But new people don't always know that. Most of the rides that I've been in, they've all known to do this, or they've learnt to do it whilst everybody else is doing it with them. On these past couple of years on the ride outs that I've been on, and that's really good. But if you ride too close, you'll have target fixation on somebody, and you can follow them straight into the same mistake that they've made.
David, you know better than anybody. I pay so much attention to everything else that's going on around me. You're my indicator guy.
Yep.
And can I just say that I like the little bit that Gaz has just put in, saying that the restraint in conversation on this particular thing is amazing.
I like what he said after that.
Yeah. Andy likes going hard alone. Oh dear. Shall we move on to the next bit?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I would say on that, it's quite important, is that when you go on a group ride out, don't try and show off. Yeah, if you're new to the group and everything else, don't try and show off, because it will totally put you outside of your normal limits, and that's where you normally have an accident. And then you're normally the first person that everyone's is saying, "Are you okay? Let's pull your bike out of the dirt. Do you need to go to the hospital?" Just take it easy on a ride out. There is no need to show off. There is absolutely no need at all. You don't have to impress anyone. Just go out and enjoy the ride.
If you want to show off, take it to a parking lot.
Yeah.
Or a track.
That happened when I did the Richard and Keith came on it. We went for a ride in Wales and at the beginning of the spring, and there was a bloke on the ride. I forget his name now.
Probably best for one thing you don't mention it.
Well, I don't care.
Apology video.
He openly said he was a summer rider. You know, he didn't ride through the winter, and that was his first ride of the season. So he was rusty, and he went to take a corner and came off. He didn't come off. He came off the road. He completely cocked the corner up and ended up coming off the road. I must admit this is second-hand. Someone else told me this because we rode in 2 groups.
He also did a left-hander and ended up on the right-hand side of the road.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's I believe when he did that, he narrowly missed 2 other bikers.
Yeah, that.
Yep.
So it's.
And we weren't going fast.
You've
I mean, he wasn't catching Keith.
Oh, yeah, cheeky bastard.
You've got to understand how to ride when you are coming back from an illness or a winter or something like that, because the first thing that can happen is you get out of depth real quick. When I went out, I mean, I've been riding now almost 30 years, and
30 years?
yeah, and this is 6
You must
months.
be knackered.
He's old.
My bum has got some carbuncles that you wouldn't believe. Anyway, this time around is almost the longest that I've been continuously without riding, and I knew that I've got to take things slowly. And the ride out I went with Keith, the reason why I didn't tell anybody I was going is because I didn't want to commit myself, just in case on the day I didn't feel that I could do it. And it really has to be, you really have to say to yourself, are you fit? Are you ready to do this ride? And it's really down to self-discipline.
I know what
Sorry?
you mean there, Dave. I really want to get on a bike, but I know I couldn't do it.
Yeah. It's got to be like that, because when you're going on a group ride, it's not just you. When you're going on your solo rides, it is just you, but you need to slow down. You need to make sure that everything you do is right and proper, and that takes extra concentration because you haven't been thinking that way for 6 months or however long you haven't been riding. It takes a little bit of time to get that back to being automatic in your head, and that's what you need to do. You can only ride fast or aggressive or anything else like that when it becomes automatic, and that can take a few weeks even, or even a few months if you've been away for a long time.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean. I got excited today because I've finally got my right arm above the shoulder, and I was just stood there going, right, I've got my arm up here, and if I put my hands out like this, that's right, left. I'm thinking,
And then the depression set in.
Yeah, well, the doctors told me another 11 months, but I'm not waiting that bloody long.
You what? You've got an
What?
It's,
6 weeks. Well, 6 weeks the bone should have healed sufficiently for you to be okay, but it's the movement and the muscle memory and the strength in the muscles that can.
I don't think I've mentioned it before. The problem was that once they'd done the operation, they realised there was only 3 centimetres of bone actually usable left.
Wow.
The rest had split down the middle, full length. So it was actually, as well as being in about 6 pieces end to end, it was actually split down the full length in half.
So did they have to use your penis bone as a transport?
It was far too small. That was, Geggy.
I was going to say that was the 3 inches that they were talking about.
That wouldn't even cover the 3 centimetres at the end.
Does it use
saluting the Third Reich?
I'm only saluting the dwarf Third Reich at the minute.
Okay, we don't.
Okay, Skeggy, we don't have time to do another one, I'm afraid.
That's what I was just about to say. I'm going to move 4, 5, and so on till the next hangout.
Yeah. So what I'll do now, I'm sorry about. Yeah, cheers, Skeggy. Sorry about the echo if I'm getting echo. I have to mute myself now just to make sure you don't get echo. But we have to wrap it up now, and we'll come back next week with the rest of those, Skeggy. Absolutely, and that'll be the first topic. So what I want to do now then is quickly go through the Q&A. Please, guys, let me get through it. And then we'll say our goodbyes, and then we'll go off air, and we'll see you next week. So let's go to the Q&A and see what our viewers have been saying. So The Yorkshire biker, he says, hi buddy, he says the Pangani R ain't as beautiful as the R125.
I want to get through it, but I can't let that one pass.
You can't let it lie.
The R125 is a very nice looking bike. Very nice looking bike, I have to say. But it ain't a Pangani.
Yeah, it's a bit like the Buell. It looks nice, but when you ride it, and for me, it's all about the ride rather than what it looks like. That's why I ride Hayabusa. Before anyone says it.
It's definitely not what it looks like, is it?
Yeah, exactly. Right, Bex says, night all kids. Cheers, Bex. Snager says, okay, I'm back, guys. Awesome, just as we're going. Brilliant. Cheers, buddy. Disuto77 says, myth, a 240 rear tyre can't do the twisters very fast. That's totally a myth. As long as it's not being flat squared off by riding down freeways all day, of course. Rounded tyres. Yeah, car tyres don't do it. Wrong. Right, Biz is coming. He says, hello, goodbye.
Hello, Biz.
Hi, Biz.
Nice for you to have you come along, mate. Make a comment. Also,
I did meet him on Sunday at the Ace. As the Ace is, he's an Ace bloke as well. I tell you, he's just the same as what he is on his blogs.
Oh, he's a nutcase.
He's so funny. Oh,
He's tapped in that bloke.
I loved him. I tell you, he was
absolute
brilliant.
nutcase, Andy. But I'd like to say he's my nutcase.
Yeah, he's a good chap. I tell you. Yeah, I really enjoyed meeting him.
yeah, I have to say I've seen a lot of his comments, and I really enjoy him, mate. And I know you're an absolute nutcase, and we're probably on the same wavelength as well. And it'd be great to meet you someday as well. Because Biz is the biz.
So, a quick note to Brass. If you wait about 5 or 10 minutes, a copy of this will come onto the Yahoo page, and you'll be able to watch what you've missed.
What? Yahoo still exists?
Yeah.
Yahoo!
What?
Are you going to post it to MySpace as well?
My brain's like.
I use my Yahoo for like spam email. Like when anybody's all like, "Here, sign up for this," I just write down my Yahoo address, never check it.
At least I got the first letter right. It's a Y. YouTube, not Yahoo. You know what my brain's like.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I've just realised Andy's going to struggle to read this next comment from Biz. It's written, it's written in proper. It says pure.
British language.
I'm blushing here, yeah, fuckers.
It's weird
That's
how
what
Biz
he
went southern at the end there.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So what areas of the country is it from? I'm rubbish at accents anyway. If I do other than my accent, I sound like an Indian. I don't know what happens there. Anyway, cheers, miss. Lovely. And anyway, Ras Nigger says, thanks, mate. You're welcome, buddy. All the time. It'd be awesome to get Ras Nigger in the hangout as well. So get yourself a camera and a microphone, dude. Yeah, in here like a boss. Rat Biker says, by the way, the GS 500 isn't quite standard. Winky smiley. You naughty boy. Have you tuned it? Made it go faster. Oh.
Put car tyres on it.
Don't put car tyres on it. The Yorkshire Biker 93 says, anybody free on Sunday? Doing a dry run of my charity ride from Squires to the Ace Cafe and back. Smiley face.
That's some run.
Do a dry run.
Yeah. So that rules out Calm Biker, doesn't it?
If it rains, is it still a dry run?
Oh, it'll rain if Calm Biker goes, that's for sure.
It always
Guaranteed.
Depends on how much lube you bring with you.
Speak to Keith if you want to talk about lube.
Lucky day of the year.
Awesome. Okay, Bimble Boy Blue. Hi, buddy. He says, if I want to stop suddenly on my 125, I simply apply gradual and increasing pressure on the brakes and it goes from a top speed of 31.5 miles an hour to 0 in, well, not sure actually, as I always have my shirt.
That's a good one.
That's the comment of the day, that one.
Yeah.
Excellent, and that's why I love Bimble Boy Blue. Oh yeah, like a boss. And Rat Biker finally says, I had a set of race Sport Mac GPs on my GS 500F. Was horrid in cooler weather, but in summer riding, quick, they were great. Yeah, basically racing tyres, you use them on the track, and if you're not on the track, don't put racing tyres on because they'll be fucking horrible. It's as simple as that. Well, anywhere, well, yeah, unless you're in somewhere like the Bahamas where it's like hot all the time. But also, don't forget that on the road you've got other car drivers, so you can't race anyway. Totally race tyres for the track, and that's where they stay. What's that, Ski?
They're always
Yeah, we have car drivers on our roads. When you go to a track day, there's no cars on it. Well, hopefully not anyway.
Wrong track.
Yeah, you could do like maybe they should do a track day experience ride where everyone in cars that are going around the track are all doing like texts and tweets and Facebook, and you have to try and get around it. That's a fucking idea right there.
Isn't that the Nürburgring on a normal day?
Isn't that what
Yeah, I think that's an idea. I think that's brilliant. You know, get loads of drivers say, hey, look, go and do your Facebook stuff while you go around the track, and all the riders will try and get an experience of what it is to come against a fucking twat bag in a car that's on fucking Facebook instead of driving the car. Awesome.
It would be funnier to get car drivers on a bike on track day.
Yeah.
Bike is a car.
Yeah, pretending to be on Facebook, not because they can't help but concentrate on the fucking road and try and like steer erratically and see what happens to the cages that would like to be on Facebook but are riding a bike. Like the idea, Richard.
I aim to please.
Oh, you certainly do. That's what Tosh tells me. Anyway, 77 finally says, but my bike has a 240 rear. Oh well, I can blame Ducati on that one. As long as it's rounded, mate, they go around corners. Trust me, I know. And I've ridden cruisers hard. That was it, the 1800 Suzuki. Love that bike. Yeah, I took that through the twisters and it was fine. It went around corners fine. So yeah, just don't use car tyres because that just fucks up the whole profile. Right, that's the Q&A closed down. Thanks for all the Q&A. That has been awesome tonight. I've really enjoyed it. And now it only leaves us to say goodbye. And Richard, please don't take too long on the goodbye because we're already over time. So without any further ado, I'm going to go to Beast Rider Bobby.
Yep, because I gotta run and grab my kids. But I just wanted to say thank you guys for having me along. You guys are wonderful. Thanks, folks, for watching. We'll see you on Tuesday and next week on Thursday. Also, remember, Loctite is not a good lubricant.
True.
And you have to do it yourself as soon as you've introduced them because otherwise it's going to be hell.
I think the best part got through.
See you,
In other words, I'm trying to like make this happen as often as I can. Cheers, Bobby. Nice one, and Richard, thanks for jumping in there and killing off my fucking echo. Nice one, Beast Rider. See you on Tuesday, and don't forget anyone else watching this. Beast Rider Tuesday, same time as this. Get in there and get involved. Awesome, like bus.
Later, y'all.
Okay.
See you, Bobby.
Joe, would you like to say goodbye to everyone?
Sure. Everybody, ride safe. Keep watching us on YouTube. And Winer Diner 69er.
Oh yeah, baby.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
like
yeah.
a boss.
Like a boss.
Cheers. Cheers, Joe. Keith, over to you, buddy.
Bye, everybody. See you in 3 weeks.
You hope.
Excellent. Cheers, Keith. Kev, the infamous biker.
Ta-ra.
Well, he's just updating his status. Notice he's not driving, though.
I'm playing pool, actually. I'm winning as well.
Excellent.
At least it's better than playing pocket pool.
That's so wrong. Something. Neville, excuse me. Let's go to Sketty. Who's there? Say goodbye, buddy.
Well, first of all, Mr. B, I'd like to thank everybody for their decorum this evening during the debate. I think it was marvellous. I think everybody did extra well. So an A+ to everybody. And while I say that...
Yay, my first A ever.
Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for watching. Really enjoyed it tonight. Thanks, Mr. Mick, for the invite.
Excellent. Everyone gets a smiley face sticker to put on their bike.
Everybody gets a gold star.
Andy, come on, let's have some words of wisdom tonight, buddy.
Well, I'm going to say cheerio to everybody, but I just want to leave people with some thoughts to think over the next few days. And one of them is, do blind people fall in love at first sight? And the other thing is, why don't they do mace-flavoured cat food?
That's deep.
And the last one is, did Adam and Eve have a belly button?
In dog shit.
Did Adam and Eve have a belly button?
No, they didn't.
You don't have to think about that then three over next weekend.
I love the mouse-flavoured cat food. That is...
Yeah. Why don't they do mace-flavoured cat food?
Actually, I think what I'll do is I'll make this hangout private. Me and you to have a word of ourselves. We could be millionaires for cat food in the next couple of weeks. Absolutely. Oh my god, everyone will buy that. They're totally sucked up. Oh look, mouse-flavoured cat food. Oh my god, that's what I want for my cat. We don't want any of that fancy fucking pouch shit. We want mouse-flavoured cat food.
No, you told everybody live on air.
What about cat-flavoured mouse food?
What about dog-flavoured cat food? You can feel like getting their own bite.
Okay, let's do a hangout about pet food and all the connotations of that. That'd be awesome.
Let's not.
No, I think we should keep it. Actually, no, we should actually keep it private and make lots of money. Okay, let's go across the day then. Cheers, Andy. That was awesome. Let's go across the day.
Would you need a mace farm then, if you wanted to make this food? Would you need a mace farm?
Well, it's only the flavour you want.
Yeah, but you need the mace to get the flavour.
If you need a mouse farm, I think all you need to do is to speak to a cosmetic company that produces cosmetics for women's faces, and I'm sure they've got some.
I've got my mouse here.
I keep hearing maze, like what you spray in people's eyes. Every time he says it, instead of mice.
No, don't say mice. Have I said mace?
No, Andy's saying mace.
Oh, that's my Suffolk accent, mate. Don't you worry.
Oh, it's all good.
We talk a bit hilly-billy round here.
Sorry, I could crack out my Jersey accent.
It means Macy's.
Mises, pieces.
What you've got to realise, Joe, is that Andy's our version of a redneck.
Totally.
That's fucking true and all.
Yeah, hang on. I'm just going to fetch my banjo.
Redneck Andy.
It's true.
Ding, 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 ding. Okay, right, okay. Dave, did you actually get a chance to say goodbye?
Not yet.
Go on then.
Bye.
Brilliant. Okay, and also I will say goodbye. Just before we finally wave, though, let's quickly go to the Q&A.
You didn't do
And B says, later, dudes! Exclamation marks.
Don't forget Richard.
You got Richard.
I forgot Richard. Oh, I wonder what happened there. Hang on. Let's see if he said anything. He says, bye, people. Pleasure as usual. Oh, that's probably too much information, to be honest. And Boy Blue says, night, night, all. Okay, so that I actually skipped past one of our panel members, and it was Richard. So, Richard, sorry, buddy. Over to you.
I'm quite hurt.
Who muted him?
I was going to say goodbye to Dave, but got jump. See you, Kev.
Let me know when it gets emotional. I'll raise the volume.
Bye, Rich. See you, Skeggy. See you, Andy.
See you later, mate.
The rest of y'all can go yourselves.
Is that it?
Can we get on with this? I need a wee.
Oh, right, okay. Just look a little bit tearful, Richard, just for the effect. Oh yeah.
That should definitely be the
Okay.
thumbnail.
Bye, kids. Don't have nightmares. Okay, let's turn that music off. Right, okay, brilliant. Thanks for watching, guys. Love you all. Tune in next week, and don't forget Bobby's Hangout on a Tuesday. And yeah, ride safe, ride invisible, like a boss. Bye.